How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
What kind of stupid ass question is that? How does it feel to be the same sex as the majority of gold diggers out there? How does it feel to be the same sex as Margaret Thatcher? Sorry, it's so stupid. You can just tell. It's gonna be dumb.
Why do you hate rom-coms? Or do you just
I
feel
don't
like
even know
you
what a
need to
rom-com
hate them?
is.
Everybody likes The Notebook. Everybody likes Beyonce. It's just a fact.
All right, so very, very typical of a girl here, right? You understand that people can have differences of opinion with you, right? Just because you like something doesn't mean that every single person needs to like it. So I get that your boyfriend didn't like watching your all-time favorite movie, The Notebook, but you don't need to take out your anger on the rest of us, okay?
Why do you make women sit around and talk about men in movies?
When
Who does
y'all
that?
easily just sit around and talk about boobs for hours.
First of all, I don't think any guy sits around. Like, what kind of a guy is such a loser that he has nothing better to do than talk about boobs for hours?
Why do you automatically assume that you won't like TV or movies that star a female lead?
Why are you
The majority of TV shows and movies that star female leads are terrible because men don't usually know how to write strong female characters, neither do women. I mean, look, there is one show that a lot of people like. You look at Game of Thrones, lots of strong female characters there. And guess what? A lot of people liked it, so your point is kind of BS.
surprised when women are funny?
Women are almost never funny.
Probably fun.
Okay, just a quick exercise. If you're watching this, quickly, name me 5 comedians that make you laugh. 5 female comedians that make you laugh off the top of your head. Go ahead, I'll give you 20 seconds. I can almost guarantee you that most of you cannot do it. Women are just not that funny, I'm sorry.
Funnier than you.
No, you're not.
Why do you think that we're obsessed with you when we hook up?
Oh, this is a great point. Thank you, fellas. I just want to mention it. That girl is absolutely right. A lot of people are under the false notion, the mistaken notion that girls fall in love with guys and the guys break their hearts. It's actually not true at all. Usually guys fall harder than girls do. And a lot of times a girl will not fall for the guy. He'll fall for her first. She'll develop feelings first. And guess what? She doesn't.
10 times out of 10, I just want you to leave too.
100% I agree with you. I think you're
Why
right.
can't I sleep with as many people as I want to without being judged?
Okay, you understand that the difference between a hoe and a quote-unquote player is that when a guy goes around sleeping with lots of different women, in order for a man to do that, unless he's like some hardcore supermodel kind of guy, in order for a man to go around sleeping with lots of women, it requires skill. He needs to be funny. He needs to be charming. He needs to be interesting. He needs to be sociable. He needs to have things going for him in his life. In order for a woman to get laid with multiple guys, all she has to do is say yes. I mean, it is socially assumed, it is socially expected that the guy will make the first move in a relationship, right? Or the guy will make a first move in general. So if you're a woman and you constantly have guys coming up to you, constantly hitting on you, constantly making sure you know that they want to have sex with you, and all you got to do is say, okay, sure, let's have sex, that doesn't take skill. It doesn't take skill to be a hoe. I'm sorry.
When men do it, they're congratulated.
Why do you consider a woman a tease if she doesn't sleep with you after 3 dates, but a slut if she sleeps with you on the first date?
And what?
Usually around the 3-date mark, I can only go based on my experiences, but around the 3-date mark, things begin to get sexual even before that. So sometimes, text messages get sent, phone sex, pictures get sent, sometimes videos get sent. So if a woman is doing all that with you and then she's not having sex with you, you can understand why guys might feel like she's being a tease.
What world does no mean yes?
A
No,
lot of worlds. Have you guys ever, what is that singer's name, that girl, Ariana Grande? She had this song where she goes, literally, this is the song. This is the part where I say I don't want it. The part where I say I don't want it. The thing is, women are afraid of something called slut shaming. Men will slut shame them. Other women will slut shame them. Their friends will slut shame them. So a lot of girls, because they don't want to look like a slut, they will pretend that they don't actually want something. They will be coy. They will say no. If a woman says, no, I don't want to do this, that means no. But if she's sitting there basically saying, oh my God, stop. You're so bad. That doesn't mean no. There's a lot of situations where no actually does mean yes.
no means no.
Why
Probably
do
gonna
you
get
say
attacked
that
like crazy for
women
that one.
are too emotional to be leaders?
Okay, let's go back for a second. Look at her face as she says this. You can't even finish this sentence without being emotional.
Leaders.
Then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
36 questions women have for men. Hashtag not all men. It sure sounds like you're accusing all men.
Why do you think that just because you're nice to me, I owe you my body?
Well, I don't think that, but I think this is a question for incels. So if there are any incels watching this video, please answer this nice girl's question.
Why would you ever send an unsolicited dick pic?
I have never sent an unsolicited dick pic, but I have heard that it does work from time to time depending on who you're talking to. So, you know.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
Why do you feel like it's okay to date a guy entirely for his wallet? Why do you think it's okay to play with a guy's emotions? Why do you think it's okay to date a guy for free meals? But you wouldn't want that happening to your brother.
How does it feel to interrupt me when I'm in the middle of making a point?
The reason why I'm interrupting you while you're making this point is because I can already tell the point you're about to make is stupid. So instead of just wasting time, a lot of people probably just interrupt you because they're just trying to shut you up.
During a meeting?
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
I get that you have balls, but
The ball
I don't
question, the
stand
testicle
around
question.
with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
All right, this idiot just tried to create a false equivalency between tits and testicles. Number one, you understand that my testicles are located in between my legs and that they are far more sensitive than your boobs. So for example, if I'm sitting and I have my legs closed, you can understand, especially on a hot day, why that might be uncomfortable. When you sit down and your arms are, and you place your arms down, are your arms squeezing your boobs in together? I'm guessing they're not, right?
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex, even though we literally birth you?
Because you are. The average woman is physically slower and physically weaker than the average man. That is a fact. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's true. How many guys can you beat up? If you're a girl, how many guys can you beat up? I'm guessing not a lot. And secondly, as far as birthing goes, it is just a byproduct of our evolution that the female is the one that gives birth. It's not like women sit around and say, you know what, because I'm a strong, selfless woman, in our relationship, I'm going to be the one who decides to give birth. No, it's just a fact. If men were the ones who, by the product of evolution, if we were the ones who had to give birth, I guarantee you we wouldn't be sitting here complaining about it and bragging about something that we had absolutely no choice over.
Like watermelons through like this.
Why is it so bad to show your emotions?
Because as soon as we do, somebody jumps on us.
Means you're human.
Why are you always trying to prove your
Or women will use our emotions against us. I mean, let's be real.
masculinity to me?
Why the isn't it ladylike to cuss?
Because it's something called standards. You see, if I'm with a woman, I have some sort of standards for her, right? In the same way that if a woman is with a man, she's probably gonna not like it if her man is a whiny little bitch. It's not manly to be a whiny little bitch, and it's not ladylike to have a really to constantly be swearing and cussing.
When did words get gendered?
It's called
Why
class.
is it your
You should
first
try it.
instinct to doubt women who have been sexually violated or raped?
So this is a good question. The fact is, I don't think, it's not about doubting. You see, look, right now we live in a society where the pendulum is beginning to shift to, people are saying that, look, if a woman comes forward, we should quote unquote believe the woman. Well, this is the problem with that. When you have two people, one of them is saying this person raped me or molested me or whatever, and the other person is saying, no, I didn't. When you choose to believe that person, when you choose to believe the person making the accusation, and when you choose to not doubt the person making the accusation, what you are doing is you are telling the person being accused that you are automatically guilty. You are preemptively placing guilt on that person. So there needs to be due process. There needs to be an investigation. It's called innocent until proven guilty. How many men are sitting in prison right now under false charges?
Why do you assume a woman's angry because she's on her period?
Yo, have these girls, like, have they ever dated women? Like, are they literally putting me in a position where I need to, quote unquote, mansplain to them periods? Like menstrual cycles? The fact is, I mean, any guy that's dated a girl, any girl knows this. When she's having her period, her vagina is uncomfortable. Her vagina is uncomfortable. She's going through cramps and everything else, right? So, of course, she's going to be a bit more irritable. It's like, for example, if I just decided to poke you for the next 3 days, just by virtue of me poking you, you're going to be more irritable over the next couple days because I'm poking you. And I mean, as far as being angry, guys, every girlfriend I've ever had, she knows that I'm not going to tolerate her BS when she's on her period. So if you're a guy who's getting a lot of BS from your girlfriend because she's on her period, you need to man up and you need to like let her know that you're not going to tolerate that BS.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising?
I mean, I don't understand. Isn't the purpose of makeup to make you look like a better version of yourself, or to make you look different than how you actually look? Is that not literally false advertising? When you sleep next to a guy, he looks exactly the same when he wakes up, when you wake up next to him in the morning. When you sleep next to a woman, she can take off her wig, she can take off her eyebrows, she can take off her eyelashes. They even have contraptions that make her look skinnier than she actually is.
We can say the same thing about your dick size.
No, you cannot.
Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about
That's a
what
good question.
I can and can't do with my body?
I
Do
agree.
you have a coochie?
Why are
No.
straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
Are straight guys obsessed with lesbians? See, yeah, look, again, these are basically questions that clearly they've dated some guys who had some fetishes. And these questions are very narrow. They're also very general. So they're very narrow in that all of these questions are based off of people that they know. And they're very general in the sense that they basically assume that all guys are like the guys they've dated.
How does it feel to get kicked in the balls?
That's a good
You ever
question.
get-
I'm glad you actually asked a question that doesn't entirely revolve around you.
Tired of trying to be manly all the time.
What does that even mean? Do you ever get tired of asking stupid ass questions?
Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
No guy's afraid of gender
Why do I
equality.
deserve to be paid less than you?
In what world does 77 cents equal $1?
So as far as the gender wage gap goes, look, if you're working the same job, the same company as somebody else, and it's not like an issue of seniority where that person has been working 5-10 years longer than you have, and if one person is being paid more than the other for the exact same job, I agree that's BS. I mean, at an interview, when I go to an interview, I always try to negotiate my wage. But if you're working at if you're just getting a salary, then I agree that it can be a little bit ridiculous. But that being said, if you look at the gender wage gap, part of what actually makes up for the wage gap is when you look at the career choices between men and women. Men usually, men go into jobs that are more demanding, but that will make them more money. Women go into jobs that are less demanding, and therefore will make them less money. That doesn't factor all of it, but that's a factor in it.
In what world does 68 cents equal $1?
How is that fair?
Why are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you?
So, this is such a stupid question. As far as I think typically it's like the man has been the bread earner. So if he feels that role is being taken away from him, it's understandable why some men might not be okay with it. But whatever. Let me switch this question around on you. Why is it that women will almost never date a man that makes less money than them? Why is it that a woman will almost never date a man that is lower than them on the in status? Right? Why is it that a woman will almost never date a man that makes less money or is lower than them in status in society? Because women almost routinely, almost always date someone that is equal to them or above them in terms of status and income. So this question is just BS. Why don't you ask yourself that question?
That's awesome. More money.
Why are opinionated women seen as bitches?
When
So it's not... Jesus Christ. It's not that opinionated women are seen as bitches. Look at this girl's face. I don't even know what she's about to say, but whatever she's about to say right now, you can just tell it's filled with attitude. You're not a bitch because of what you say. Although if you're just like a rude person, guys usually will call you a bitch because of how you say something. Like, look at this girl's face, full of attitude.
opinionated men are seen as bosses.
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes that are offensive to women?
Why don't you speak up when you hear your female friends behind closed doors making jokes that are offensive to men? Or is that not possible? Is it impossible to offend a man?
You're so afraid of recognizing your own privilege.
Oh my, dude. Yes. Are there in society, are men more privileged than women? Yes, but I mean, this is just BS because there are so many things about society, this quote unquote patriarchal society, that women fucking love. Let's look at an issue where women are privileged. When was the last time any of these girls ever paid for their own meal when they went on a date? When was the last time they paid for their own drink at a bar when they were seeing a guy? Almost never. If you're so worried about privileges and everything else, I mean, dude, the next time you go out on a date, pay for the guy's fucking meal.
Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something.
Yeah, just recognize it and pay for his fucking meal. Honestly, that was kind of funny. Like, a lot of these questions were just so stupid. Let's check out some of the comments. Jesus Christ, ladies, not every man is your ex-boyfriend. All right, I'm starting a petition to make this the most. All right, so a lot of these guys are kind of upset, not surprised. I mean, this was just so stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and have a good one. This is Randumpz signing out.